Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Wednesday night. The week is getting away from us already. I believe they're already here. There's a lot of chatter, a lot of warnings coming out of various agencies in the government about impending terrorist attacks that will happen on American soil. We'll go into that a little more. Also, going to give some updates on the Middle East, where we've got escalations, tensions rising big time by the hour, by the day over there. I'll go into that some as well. Also have a verse that you will find very encouraging, so definitely stay tuned for that. I always like to end on an upbeat note that will be very good. All right. The chatter it's coming out about various agencies, government entities are warning the public about impending attacks. Can happen anytime on our soil. And now they're concerned. Why not 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, before we pretty much opened up the border, wide open, wide open. There's no telling who's here. You know, it made me think when the barbarians came over the wall of ancient Rome and finally sacked it. At least they had to work for it a little bit. It took them some time, and they had to come through the walls, over the walls. Here, they just got to walk through the border. You just got to walk through it. And you get money. You get food, you get some free medical care, your kids can go to school, you can have babies, you can do all kind of stuff. And plot destruction, maybe. Now, again, I'm not saying every person coming through the border, even though they're coming in illegally, not every one of them are bad. Some of them are probably well-meaning. But we don't know. We don't know. At least in Ellis Island, back in the day, there was some screening. And these people were wanting to get away from other repression. And they wanted to come to a land of opportunity where they could have the American dream. They were productive. They opened stores. They raised families. They became part of the American culture and helped build it. Do you think that's the case now? No, not not a bit. Like, except for the few, I'm sure. There are a few exceptions, I'm sure. But now they can just walk through. Nero, Emperor Nero fiddles while Rome burns. Indeed, that will increase. They're already here. They're warning now about border crossings, but dang, I mean, they've been able to cross for months and years now. How many are there? There could be thousands. Could there be more than 1 million? Probably so. I'm talking about ones who want to do us harm. I mean, when you see hundreds and thousands of young military aged men, the majority of them that don't even speak Spanish are coming through and they're just let in. They don't have families with them. Now, maybe a few are working until they get the call, until they get the beeper. They might be working on a farm somewhere, blending in. We just don't know. That's the thing. They could be millions of them. And I did see a report where more and more coming through are not Spanish speaking. They're coming from all over the world, Africa, the Middle East. Hello, hello. I'm watching footage across the United States of massive demonstrations video, and it is not in just big cities. It's in mid-sized cities, towns. They're all support. They're basically supporting terrorists, and the majority of them, it's kind of laughable, but a few of them were being interviewed by a media a TV station. And they have no history, they have no knowledge of history. They were talking about how Israel, it's an occupation, and uh, they're colonialist, and it's all about driving them out, driving the Palestinians out, and occupiers. Hello, do you know history at all? Have you read it at all? And they're probably not taught it. Nothing can be further from that. All right. It's really amazing. It's really astounding. But it just goes to show you how many people, and how many thousands, millions of them are here already. And if they feel passionate enough to go marching for it. Now, granted, if some of them are probably just caught up in the bandwagon, and it looks cool and all that, but it just makes you think, you know. When I look at those people, they're not on my team. They're not on my team. I'm looking at those people like they want harm done to me too. Yes, against Jewish, but that includes me because I'm supporting. How many are already here, ready to act? What are they gonna, what could they attack? I mean, it could be all kinds of things. It could be just random things. They could attack the power, the substations, infrastructure, transportation, railroads, airplanes. Hello. Prepare to defend yourself. If you have a self-protection tool, practice on it. I know I need to be doing that too more. I include myself in that. We need to practice and be ready. Be ready. Hypervigilance at all times. If you're in your vehicle and you don't feel safe and don't get out, don't dismount the vehicle. Keep moving. Get out, get away. If you can't and your vehicle is being attacked, you got to do what's necessary. All right. But we need to be hyper vigilant at all times, even just going to the store, even just going to Walmart or wherever you go, Costco, you name it. All right. We have to be. We have to be. I heard somebody say we're probably in more danger now from a terrorist attack than we were in the last 20 years. And I agree. I have to agree with that. All right. I want to shift gears here going into the Middle East. I'm going to read off some updates here that I've been researching. More forces are going to the Eastern Mediterranean, and not just American forces. Turkey said they are sending warships, presumably to defend Palestinians. That should be interesting because the United States already has two carrier groups, battle groups there. Just one battle group, that's a lot of firepower. There's two there, and there's a third on the way. The Eisenhower is making its way there. We'll have three carrier battle groups there. You think that's just for the heck of it? You don't send that much in there if you don't plan on using it. They're planning. They're planning. I think they're trying to get all the pieces together and in place, plus all these anti-aircraft stations. The Russian trying to get that in there to help Israel before the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, goes in on the ground, if they ever even do that. The United States is urging Israel Defense Forces not to go in on the ground in Gaza as a full-scale invasion. Now, I don't know. They got hundreds of tanks just ready to go. Are they just going to pull back now? I don't know about that. But they're urging them just to use the airstrikes coupled with special ops. I speculated on that last night, didn't I? They may end up just doing that, but I don't know. Don't know. Also, the U.S. Aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln left the port of San Diego today. Destination unknown. I wonder where it's going. The Syrian army was hit. Has been not just proxies, but the Syrian army was attacked by Israel by airstrikes from Israel earlier today as well as Hezbollah targets. Hezbollah has been targeting Israeli tanks, and they're getting hit back. It's going back and forth, and it's escalating, and it's getting further. You're seeing it going in a lot of different directions. It's not all to the south towards Hamas. There's been 14 attacks on United States posts and bases in the Middle East. Israel is using fighter jets to hit the Syrian army and Hezbollah fighters as well. So it looks like, Are we really watching? Is it biblical? I mean, it sure looks like it. I mean, we don't know for sure, but Israel is facing multiple fronts here. Okay, they're facing it from Syria, Lebanon, Iran, possibly Egypt, Turkey. Who else is going to jump in there? Is a major player? Is somebody like Russia or even Turkey? Like I said, Britain is sending warships to the Eastern Med. Two amphibious assault ships are heading that way as well. Oh, this is a good one. The United Nations. This happened either today or yesterday. United Nations General Secretary, I forget his name, idiot. He said that he was criticizing Israel for their stifling occupation of Palestinians and that they're, just basically just really ripping them. Well, the Israeli ambassador to the UN went up and said that they're no longer issuing visas to UN officials now. It's time to teach them a lesson. There you go. There you go. Teach these pencil necks some lessons, Stick it back to them. I like it. I like that. I can't help it. I like that. There's just a lot of rhetoric. There's a lot of saber rattling. I saw too where Russia held drills, a practice drill consisting of how they would conduct a massive nuclear retaliatory strike. I'm telling you, I mean, it would just take one hair trigger, one mistake, one accident, one thing could lead to another, and you got all hell breaking loose. And it may break loose anyway, and it probably will. Let's continue with our preparations, okay? Just your basics. We talk about them a lot. Your provisions, of course, spiritual, physical preparation as well. Like I said a while ago, self-protection tools. We've got to be ready. And the biggest thing too is not even if you don't have one, you're like, well, dog, I don't have that kind of stuff. Being aware, uh, avoiding certain situations. I would avoid large crowds personally. And if you get that sixth sense that something's not right, that something's going on, we've got an issue over here, we got something's going down, get out of there. Keep moving. Don't stop. Don't rubberneck. Be curious. Don't be tempted to jump out, yell, get out of there. You don't need it. Get out of there. All right. Okay, I'm ranting about that. Okay, verse is from 2 Timothy. Several of you have been quoting this one in the comments for every now and then, and it's a good one because there's so much. I hate to say fear mongering, but there's just a lot of people are worrying right now, and even people who've had their head in the sand are starting to ask some questions like, all right, what's going on here? I never prep, but what do I do first? That kind of thing. I've been seeing some of that a lot on social media now. So, but anyway, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. There it is right there. That's a good one. A spirit not of fear, but of power. Don't be timid. Power, love, and self-control. So we should not be afraid. Not fear. Be prepared. That's the best way to deal with it. All right. Let's be really aware. Let's be safe out there. God bless you. I'll see you soon.